Here to talk about that and more is Assistant to the President for Trade and Manufacturing, Peter Navarro. Peter, thanks for being here.
No boxing gloves on tonight, just Judge Jeanine.
I was just going to say, right now, we're not interested in going into our corners, but let me ask you a question as it relates to this hydroxychloroquine. Number one, and I take no position one way or the other, but why is it so animated when it comes to this?
I think basically the never-Trumpers, the Trump haters, left-wing media, anything he's for, they got to be again. But let me tell you a couple of things that I think are important. Of course, this is a decision between doctors and patients. But if you go, for example, to the Food and Drug Administration emergency use authorization notice that's right on the web. I'll just read it. It says, although limited scientific information is available, it is reasonable to believe that hydroxychloroquine sulfate may be effective. And what we've seen now is there's a number of studies out that have some preliminary evidence that suggest efficacy, not just for therapeutic value, but also for prophylactic value. We have a wide-scale test in the state of New York. We should get some results back in Ford Hospital in Detroit. Let me tell you, Jeanine, what I did over the last week since the task force last Saturday, a week ago Saturday, the task force unanimously approved surging hydroxy into the hot zone. So my team, Team Trump, basically got 19 million doses of hydroxy, first into four of the hottest zones, Chicago, Detroit, New Orleans, and New York. And then we went to some additional cities down the line. A lot of them we read like NFL franchises. It's Baltimore, it's Washington, it's Houston. And also, in addition, the Veterans Administration asked for 1 million doses. We got that to them, and DOD wanted, the Department of Defense wanted 1 million doses. We got that to them. So there's demand out there, and there's a protocol. And let me just say one thing. The protocol in the FDA, it's very clear what they're doing. It's a 5-day protocol. You take a double dose the first day, next 4 days, a single dose. And I think let's see what the scientific evidence says, and then I'll go back on with that guy, and we'll duke it out again.
Well, but yeah, CNN. But is there a competition? Is there something else? I know we're waiting for the data, we're waiting for the tests, the stages, the vaccine. But is there something else? I mean, in my open, I put in a sound of the woman who was a Democrat from Detroit, a Michigan representative, who said, thank God for Donald Trump even mentioning this. Once I got on the hydroxy, I was fine.
Well, your open was spot on.
Is there something else?
It's politicized. No, it's just, come on. It's like the never Trumpers. It's like, oh, if he's for it, we got to be against it. But I'm telling you, it's a slippery slope they're on here, because anecdotal evidence at the front lines, not scientific, but it tells you that doctors and healthcare providers are using this stuff like M&Ms as a prophylactic to prevent them from getting sick. So let's see where it's at. But the science has gotten to a point enough where it's reasonable for the FDA to approve emergency use authorization. And it's, there's literally millions of doses out there, and the rest of the world's fighting for the rest of the doses. Some won't even let it go out their borders. So something's going on with hydroxy, and I think the president's going to be proved absolutely right again.
Well, and I think that the interesting thing is that when you talk about it's part of an FDA protocol. I mean, that's pretty serious. But we'll wait to see what happens. But in line with that, there are, as we try to fight this virus, and thank God things are getting better right now, we have come to recognize that there are certain treaties or agreements that we have with other countries to get, whether it's personal protective equipment or, ventilators or whatever else there might be, and they're not actually delivering pursuant to their agreements. What does this tell us in terms of where we go when we actually open up again, or even before we open up?
Well, Judge, my mission here at the White House right now, 24/7, is to figure out how to make sure the supply chain delivers the essential medicines, the medical supplies like masks, the medical equipment like ventilators to the American people at the front lines of this war against the virus. And one of the first things I did in that mission was to break down the 30 different things you need to treat a coronavirus patient. And what was shocking to me was that virtually everything on that list came from offshore. And the problem in a pandemic is that when your supply chain for your medicines and your medical supplies are outside your borders, what we see is countries acting like nations, which is to say they protect themselves. And right now, Judge, there's over 75 countries that have imposed some form of export restrictions on things like hydroxychloroquine, on things like masks. And it's a situation where if we learn anything from this crisis, it's the lesson of Donald Trump. You got to have both secure borders and you got to have your manufacturing on shore. And what we need to do over time is make sure that we can manufacture everything we need on shore. And there's a couple of ways to do that. First of all, it's imperative that our government agencies buy American. It's the VA, HHS, the Department of Defense. They buy large quantities of drugs and equipment in Medicare and Medicaid as well. It's imperative that we, going forward, buy American when we can. We can do, Larry Kudlow and the president have been talking about a tax break where you give 100% expensing for investment in the pharmaceutical industry. We
incentivize it. But Peter, I've got Marsha Blackburn who's going to talk about that. She's the next guest. But, you know, you're right in there, Peter. When do you think we can reopen this economy?
Boy, that is the toughest decision President Trump and any president will ever have to make. Let me just give you a quick perspective on this. Here's the problem. You got the purest medical professionals basically taking the position that the way to minimize loss of life, the only way, is to keep the economy and society shut down until the virus is vanquished. And they're half right, because that will minimize the deaths from the virus directly. But what we've learned, particularly from the China trade shock and how it affected the Midwest communities, what we've learned is that an economic shock, a China virus economic shock, will also kill Americans. We learned that from what we saw in the Midwest. We saw higher depression rates, higher suicide rates, higher morbidity. We saw an epidemic of opioid deaths. So we know that the virus itself kills, but we also know that economic recessions and depressions kill. And so that very tough decision this president's going to be making is to have to weigh the balance and figure out which path does more damage. And in the meantime, we're going to do everything to protect people at the front lines of this, and to the extent that we can get things like antibody testing and testing for infection as tools deployed out in the field, that will help us better get people back to work. If you have somebody who takes an antibody test and has them, they can go back to work. So, tough choice for President Trump,
Peter
but he's the person who'll make it.
All right, we're out of time, but I want to thank you for being back. I want to thank you for being back on Justice, Peter, and good luck to you in your mission.